Football is just my world away from the other world. When I step onto that pitch and I'm out there with my teammates and I can just go into battle with them.
And you work so hard and sometimes you don't get the rewards, but when you do get the rewards, it's an unbelievable feeling.
There's nothing like it. You know, football, it's got drama throughout the whole game.
It's just exciting when you see them playing at the best and playing with no fear.
That brief 90 minutes on the pitch, just nothing else matters.
The World Game is Tasmania's game.
A clash between the Devonport Strikers and the Olympia Warriors. A huge game in store here. The sun is shining. A perfect day for football at Valley Road between two of the best sides in the state. The Strikers and the Warriors, two of the big contenders chasing the runaway leaders Launceston City, and a huge chance to eat into that deficit with 3 points today. They're always going to be important matches as these sides meet. We have a look at the hosts here, the Devonport Strikers. Miles Barnard gets the start today. Of course, the big news out of Valley Road, Daniel Jackson being cut. He won't be a part of the team anymore. The American, a bit too profligate for Chris Gallo's liking. So he is out, and they haven't replaced him yet. We'll see if they do that in the coming weeks. But if they were to make the FFA Cup, they'd only be able to play 2 imports anyway, which I'm told was part of the decision-making process there. Number 1 in goals, Nathan Pitchford, having a good year. Pitchy Pitchford. That's Darby Randall there, we can see on screen for the Warriors at number 1, but Pitchford having a good season for the Strikers. Number 3, Dominic Smith, moved back into a left-back role this season after we've seen him at centre-back last year quite a bit. Eddie Bidwell has just nailed down that right-back spot. He has been outstanding for them this year, really. They love to maximise Eddie Bidwell getting forwards. The centre-back pairing there, Guillermo Lascano, the Spaniard, with Kieran Mulroney, the local. Those two been pretty good together. Braden Mann having some sort of year leading the line. He just keeps on scoring goals. He's taken his tally to 12 now for the season. He has really been probably the player of the season in the NPL Tasmania so far. Michael Holden having a very good year down the left also. So much offensive firepower in this team. Number 12, Bo Blizzard, probably not getting some of the plaudits he might deserve. I think he's having an outstanding year in midfield for the Strikers, doing a lot of that grunt work for them. Number 14, Miles Barnard, the fox in the box. Just tends to bob up and score a goal out of nowhere. That's his MO. He's been, I suppose, preferred to the likes of Jackson and Gediminas Crucia, who gets the start today. But we've seen Barnard in recent weeks getting that starting gig. Joel Stone, another who's pushed into the starting lineup after a few weeks of sitting on the pine. Chris Gallo, I think, just trying to get the best out of him there. Benching him for a few games, but a very dangerous player indeed, Joel Stone. On the bench, some real youth here, Jesse Dance, Henry Andrews, who'd been playing in recent weeks, Thomas Pearce, the backup keeper, and Liam Knott. So that is your Strikers starting 11 today, and we move on to the Olympia Warriors, and the number 3 at the top there has been scintillating, Gordy Gerson, former American national futsal player. And boy, is he taking the league by storm with his fast feet and eye for goal. He'll be crucial for this team today. Number 6, Joel Samet. I've seen him deployed in a couple of different roles. He's played at left back, played a bit higher up the pitch last week though, Joel Samet. Number 7, Oren Wadawu, having a fantastic year. I think you just about pencil him in on the right wing for team of the season at the moment. Number 8, Alex Holmes, will be partnering, I expect, number 10, Lucas Hill in defence, the tallest central defensive pairing going around, that's for certain. Number 9, Eduardo Castaneda, a very good recruit, switching over from South Hobart, scored a lovely goal last week, and now he's finally got a run of games at this level, really showing what he can do, the youngster. We see him on screen there with the likes of Gerson and Wazawu. They're going to be crucial today. Number 14, Jonathan Griffiths, the fullback. Number 15, Mark, the business Ortman, another one of those youngsters in midfield. He's an important part of this team. They need him to be kicking on, do they, the Warriors. Number 16, Paul Stevens, very versatile player. He's capable in a number of different roles, and one of those players who, if he's on form, the defensive unit of this Warriors can be very hard to break down. Much the same with Jake Vandermeer, the former captain, still a very experienced member of this lineup. He's strong in the air, and I'm expecting a physical game between these sides today, so I think Vandermeer's physicality going to be very important. In goals is number 22, Darby Randall. He deputises for the injured Brett Johnson. On the bench, we have Thomas Little, Joffrey Nkoso and Benjamin Curtis. So very much a youth-backed approach here for Dale Hitchens on the pine, much like Chris Gallo. So if we are going to see any shuffling of the deck today, it will be in favour of the youngsters. As the players now behind the referees walking out for this one, Nathan Code, the man in the middle, and a big game in store for us. A massive 3 points on offer. You can see the table as it stands. Olympia in 4th place at the moment on 13. Devonport in 2nd. They're on 16, so they could cut the gap to 1. Their recent form pretty good, dropping that game at this ground to Launceston City. The win over South Hobart was a good fighting one. You probably expect them to take the points in those other games there, the Strikers, but add in their run to the Cup final and their form pretty strong. Building nicely. You have a look at the Olympia Warriors. Hit a bit of a snag, but it was just not getting results really. The Warriors, Launceston City result, South Hobart, both those games, I think you can make the case the Warriors were the better side, just didn't take the 3 points, which is why they're sitting a bit further down the table. That killer instinct is what they're going to need to find today, and they've turned around the last couple of weeks with a couple of victories there, the Warriors. So if Gordon Gerson can fire up top and they can have that cutting edge, then we'll see what they can do. The assistants there, Longo and Mace for Nathan Code in the middle here of a Valley Road, just looking an absolute treat. The sun is shining. This is going to be a fantastic affair between two teams that like to play in a pretty attacking manner. I'd expect goals. Last time these two met at this venue, it pushed all the way deep into extra time, 4-3. The victory that day in favour of the Strikers. So a good sign perhaps for the Warriors. If that was to translate from the Cup to the league, 90 minutes, they'd take a point, and it was a real end-to-end affair, pretty open for the most part. And plenty of fireworks, as there has been with the Devonport Strikers all season. Who could forget that game with Lonnie City here a few weeks back? One of the more fiery contests you will ever see. The skippers in the middle there, big Lucas Hill and Braden Mann. Well, they're going to be playing on each other today, and that could be a matchup that goes a long way to defining this match. The contest could well be shaped by Lucas Hill's defensive abilities, trying to shackle the red-hot Braden Mann, who there's been no slowing down so far this season. He has just fired in goal after goal. That's why he's sitting atop of the scoring charts. And looks like the Warriors have won the toss. And no one's going to be changing ends here. So just about in readiness for the first game of round 9 in the NPL Tasmania. This is going to be a real treat today. And a big statement game perhaps for both of these sides. The Warriors, they know the stakes are incredibly high, in particular for them. They can't afford to drop many more points if they're going to be in this title race. Certainly there are a lot more clubs capable of taking points off the top few sides than we might have seen in years gone by. But at the end of the day, you can't fall too far behind. They've already left some points on the table. There is little margin for error for all the visitors. The hosts, meanwhile, well, they've got Launceston City out in front of them. That's the carrot they're chasing. They've got a Laka Seljuk Cup final in 9 days' time. But for now, they won't be looking any further than the Olympia Warriors. We're underway at Valley Road. This should be a cracker. Braden Mann sends it across there to Michael Holden, trying to get in behind, but that one's smashed forward to Kieran Mulroney at the back. He goes across to Guillermo Lazcano, the Spaniard. And he goes with a long diagonal, looking for the run of Bidwell. Expect to see plenty of that today. And the way this Strikers team lines up is Bidwell trying to push on at every chance. Joel Stone now putting a dangerous looking cross in, but Darby Randall able to get there. From Braden Mann could apply a touch. Here's Warren Woodawu. Inside to Wortman. Vandermeer chipping it forwards. Cut out by Dom Smith. Gordy Gerson's first involvement, I thought, was to get fouled, but it's in fact, no, it's now pointing the correct way there, the referee. I thought that would have been a very harsh foul on Gordy Gerson. Long diagonal, cut out by Bidwell. Blizzard left it a little short for Crucier, but got there eventually. Stone back to Bo Blizzard. Bidwell retreats to Lazcano. Direct option applied, went towards Barnard. Man trying to slide in behind of Alex Holmes there, unsuccessfully. Wadawu hits the deck. Play on the call as Turtle Holden picks it up. Down the left wing in the sunshine, he sends a ball which was fairly aimless in the end, and easily dealt with at the back, and they're going to need better quality than that. That's a slightly heavy touch that invites a little bit of danger there from Lucas Hill. Closed down by Michael Holden. Jake van der May. He's got Paul Stevens standing on his lonesome. Instead goes down the line. Smith over the top of Wadawu. Krusha. Minus Krusha looking to get in there. It's a good sliding challenge from Samet. And that was rather Samet. Krusha back to Smith. Full pass though, cut out by Van der May, and he's got Joel Samet bursting into space. Instead he went centrally for Gordon Gerson, who had two to deal with. Bo Blizzard winning it back. And fantastic in this role for the Strikers this season. Some real steel to that midfield. Griffiths down looking for Stone. Buffeted off it there by Castaneda. This young midfield group of the Warriors. Here's Braden Mann in the bullseye. Wide he goes for Turtle Holden. With his left foot he swings it to the back post. Had Darby Randall just scrambling a tad. And it rolls behind, no harm done in the end. Holden. With his left foot he swings it to the back post. Trying to pick out had Darby Randall's Barnard. Just scrambling a tad. And it rolls behind. Big shoes to fill for Darby Randall today. Deputising the impressive American Brett Johnson, out injured at the moment, but shown himself to be one of the better keepers in the league when he was playing earlier in the year as Holmes rolls it back for Randall. And that's poor distribution there from the youngster, straight out of play. Bidwell to Stone. He's not going to get that one straight off of him. Here's Paul Stevens. Goes to Castaneda. Now Wadawu. Into the middle. He chips it looking for the run of Gerson. Lascano in close proximity. He didn't really clear it all that well. Went straight to Samet. And he swings it across where I think he was hoping Wadawu was going to make a run to, but yeah, just to lift the eyes there because no one was in the vicinity. Smith to Mann. Chesting it down and turning and chips it out into the path. Joel Stone. Alex Holmes has that one covered. Long from Randall. Braden Mann couldn't track it down. Here's the mountain, Lucas Hill. Cross to Griffiths. Griffiths in plenty of space. And he uses that to pick out Wadawu. He'll have a run at Dom Smith here. Wadawu and crosses in, and Mulroney heads it behind for a corner. It's noticeable the strikers sitting off there. Griffiths with plenty of time and space in the strikers' own half, so not pulling out the frenetic press on them today. Quite content to sit back, invite the Warriors onto them, and then maybe get those long diagonals in behind to the likes of Stone and Mann, who've got some serious pace. Michael Holden as well. It's a very mobile front line the strikers possess, so they might be well served by just drawing the Warriors onto them a little. But it's Olympia on the offensive here through Wadawu. Swings it in. Turtle Holden repels. First of the ball is Joel Stone, who tries to take on the business Ortman, who won that battle pretty comfortably. And he'll just leave the throw-in duties there to Jake van der May instead. He throws it for Castaneda. Still the Warriors throw down there in front of Dale Hitchens on the bench. Gerson just trying to work Mulroney under it and get him behind them. Here he is, the gecko. Couldn't get around Krusha. And Krusha chips it long. Straight to Holmes. Van der May. Back to Lucas Hill. Hill. And now John Griffiths. Carrying it forwards again. Strikers sit off until they reach the final third. Then they attack them, and Bo Blizzard tries to lead out the counter-attack by getting around Ortman. Bidwell making a tremendous run down the right. Instead he goes down the left, and that one is cleared into the man, and behind it rolls. And he saw Holden, always a likely target, but geez, Eddie Bidwell was in some space down the right here. He made a fantastic run in behind. Not quite the right option on that occasion. That one again, not the greatest distribution coming out from the back there. Here's Joel Stone. Left it for Bidwell. Bidwell just dinks it up. Griffiths at the body position. Falls for Samet. And Ortman got it moving quickly, almost picked off by Krusher. Oh, the look-away pass from Castaneda's unlocked them here. That was beautiful stuff. And now they go wide to Gordy Gerson. Gerson running at Lascano, squaring balls, cut out though. Jetty Manis Krusher getting back there. Ortman won it beautifully through, and a chance now for Gordon Gerson on the angle. Closed down by Mulroney. Gerson waiting for something to open up, and then another aimless drive into the box. Gathered by Pitchford and the pressure relieved, but some good stuff there in the Warriors. Asking questions of the strikers out the back here, and Joel Samet dispossessing Bidwell, and now he's sauntering into the box here. It's Samet crossing, looking for Gerson, but again it was Krusher. It's a few times now he's just dropped back. The Lithuanian doing it nicely. Michael Holden now out the other way, sliding in with Stevens. Stevens to Ortman. Closed down by Krusher, but still managed to find Wadawu. He's going to run into some trouble here. The business Ortman launches the diagonal. Again, it's a perfect ball for Samet. Samet. Down the line. Griffiths. Castaneda. And now Samet. I reckon if he goes down, he wins a free kick. Instead, the advantage is paid, and now it will be pulled back. That's good refereeing. There was a blatant push in the back that I thought he'd got away with, but well officiated there from Nathan Code, and it gives the Warriors a free kick in a pretty dangerous position here. Castaneda, Gerson and Wadawu, the committee. Strikers still protesting the point, but no doubt this one is always going to be a free kick. So Castaneda and Wadawu now. Warren Wadawu scored that stunning free kick at Warrior Park a couple of weeks ago. So he got on this occasion. It's going to be Wadawu, curled it straight to the wall. Back out to Griffiths. Searching ball well over the head of Gerson. And the danger passing long roost in the Joel Stone direction. Just misjudged it. Got to the bounce before Ortman though. And bodied up and then looks to skip around Lucas Hill. That's easier said than done. He's kept hold of the ball though here, Joel Stone. Still going is Stone, and eventually recovering was Hill to put it behind for a corner. A chance back for a set piece at the other end now. So Jetty Krusher. Swings it in near post. It's deflected. Randall got down and covered the post well. Would have been the defender who kicked it away in the end. It was a pretty teasing little ball, this one from Krusher. Doesn't touch anyone on the way through. In the end, Randall knocking that one away. Krusher again. Ken goes near post. This one curling in. Barnard somehow managed to engineer a volley, but it was well over the top. So 10 minutes gone here at Valley Road. 0-0, both teams getting forwards and getting a couple of looks early on. It was one of the games of the season when they met in the Laka Seljuk Cup here. The first meeting down at Warrior Park is slightly more strangled affair, 1-1 on that day. The slightly smaller field, perhaps countering how both teams wanted to play a little, as that one's out, and it'll be throw in for Devonport. Barnard Sliding in was Lucas Hill. It's an out of play, does the Mountain. Dom Smith. On the right, Smith kills it, looking for Braden Mann. Oh, Braden Mann beats Tony Randall and opens the scoring on 2 minutes. A bit of a soft one, that. Braden Mann left all unmarked, and the technique on the volley outstanding. Randall getting a hand to it, but he can't keep out Braden Mann's 13th goal of the season. And really, from out of nowhere, they get a goal here. Dom Smith on the wing. Just cuts in, launches the long diagonal, and just caught ball watching on that occasion was Griffiths, and Randall unable to keep him out. He will not be denied, Braden Mann. And it's 1-0 in favour of the Strikers. A sharp start for the hosts. How will they respond? Griffiths looks to charge in behind a Blizzard who ran into his own man Bidwell. Blizzard eventually able to hoink it clear, and Barnard just cradled it down for Mann. Waits for the support that's going to come from Bidwell. Used it as a decoy and then jinked back inside. Blizzard switches the play. They love these long diagonals, do the Strikers. Michael Holden trying to get in behind Vandermeer. Couldn't do so. Madawu drawing the contact nicely. Winning the free kick there. So Braden Mann opening the scoring at Valley Road. Once again, the irrepressible striker just knows how to find the back of the net. Long ball there, Gerson the only hopeful, but he wasn't in the vicinity. There's Castaneda across to Ortman. That young midfield pairing with the experience of Stevens in behind. Castaneda. The ball on a string, eventually works it back to Lucas Hill. He'll switch it up out to Griffiths. Griffiths. Samet. Now Gerson combining nicely, but sliding in was Lascano. Alex Holmes nods it down to Castaneda. Now Wadawu has Vandermeer overlapping. He shifts inside instead, then looked to play the through ball for Gerson, couldn't do so. Mann surrounded by Warriors, but keeps a hold of the ball nicely. Now chipped in the path of Stone. Joel Stone skipping around a couple. He's got Bidwell bursting down the right here. Any Bidwell in space. What's he going to do? He drives it across the face, and Lucas Hill kept it out on the line. That's really well done by the Mountain. Getting back on the line there. Makes a crucial stop. It was a pretty good hit from Bidwell. That was picking out the far corner. Olympia really looking to get back in now through Gerson. There's a foul blown, but just looking a little shaky at the back down this right-hand side at the moment. The Warriors, we've seen Mann on the goal, and then Bidwell just finding some space down the right, looking it from the left, playing those crossfield diagonals and causing some big problems. We'll have another look at Joel Stone forging this chance for Bidwell. It's a sharp angle that he's hit this from, but geez, he's hit it well. And Lucas Hill with tremendous awareness to get back. Expertly done there from the big Mountain. Away by the Mountain. He got it to Wadawu. Wadawu smashes it long. Not cleared by Lascano. Couple of bounce. Mulroney. Wadawu. Gerson. And he got that one wrong. Following it out of play instead. The Strikers can take over. So moving it back to Derby Randall here, the Warriors, as they retreat. And that one getting away from, so a little sloppy building from the back once again. Here's Bo Blizzard. Blizzard to Lascano. Lascano. Blocked by Gerson into the Guru stand here. Well occupied stand. They've been drawing good crowds up here at Valley Road this year. They know this is a entertaining side they've got on their hands, so why not come and enjoy it? Long ball. Mulroney. Gerson chasing Pitchford, who just gets it on out of there to Holden. Holden drops the shoulder and just burns off Vandermeer. Lucas Hill across in coverage though, and he'll smash that one into the bush. A throw in taken by Smith. Here's Joel Stone. This is where he usually does his best work, operating in the tight confines. He always finds a way to weasel his way out of that. Cruciate. Back to Mulroney. Gerson giving him something to think about. He just extricates himself from the problem Mulroney, and now the long ball picks out Braden Mann. Takes it down with a silky touch. And plays in Bo Blizzard, who will look to run at this defence again. Now Joel Stone. Joel Stone turning onto the left. Goes down and steered away. Well defended by Lucas Hill. He wasn't going to bite. He's come up against Joel Stone once or twice before. Play allowed to continue. Holden, one way then the other. Then stretching challenge from Castaneda halted his progress before Joel Stone took off down the wing and he beat Vandermeer, and then he looks to beat Lucas Hill as well. He does, and he curls it. Darby Randall did really well to make the save there. Joel Stone beating two, firing off a fierce shot. Lovely work from Stone this. And Darby Randall does well to get a piece of it. Tip it over the bar. Dangerous stuff indeed there. So the corner to be taken again by the Lithuanian. Jedi Cruciate swings it in and headed goalward, but over the top from the Fox in the box. He's got this freakish ability to get free from set pieces, always seems to escape the clutches of his markers. He and Jack Turner similar in that regard. Cork in the ocean with the Fox in the box. Birds of a fella. There's Pitchford. Smashes this one along, looking for Barnard. Nods it down to the path of Bidwell. Eddie Bidwell took a heavy touch straight to Griffiths, whose pass then went straight to Blizzard. By Blizzard. Barnard. And Bidwell sliding in well was Griffiths. Shut down the attack well. Now Stevens to Castaneda. Wadawu stretching to get there. Trying to get the better of Dom Smith. One of the more experienced strikers, despite his relative youth, been a staple of this lineup really since 2015 now. Seems to get better year after year. And that's acrobatically volleyed forward by Stone, but it's no avail. Bo Blizzard picks it up in midfield, looks to drive the play once again, and he does it beautifully. And he's released Eddie Bidwell, who chips it to the back post. Plenty of Warriors bodies were back though. But Bo Blizzard, geez, some lovely stuff from him in midfield today. Can Wadawu get on the end of this one? He swings it in. Pitchford should have it covered, and Pitchford does have it covered. And Joel Stone. Stone down in the Barnard direction. Barnard for Holden. Barnard back to Bidwell. He's been prominent, Eddie Bidwell. Combining with Holden here. Holden, back heel for Bidwell. Crosses to the back post. Nodded back goalward. Away by Lucas Hill, using every inch of his frame there. Gerson leapt at it, couldn't quite time the jump. Falls to Wadawu, who's got Samet in some space. He sends the ball in his direction. Joel Samet now. Crossing dangerously. He had Gerson at the back post, but Kieran Mulroney on hand to steer that one away. Just Peeling off to the back stick there was Gordy Gerson, but Mulroney doing it well. So Wadzawu currently in deep conversation with the linesman there. I think we're just waiting for the ball to get returned. And eventually someone hops out of the car and delivers to the postman on this occasion. Bit of return mail. And Warren Wadzawu will swing the corner in. The Warriors searching for a way back into this game. He swings it again, doesn't beat the first man. Barnard away, Crucier down the line, looking for Joel Stone, but a couple of little whippets there in Griffiths and Ortman, who dealt with it. Here's Griffiths. Castaneda to Wadzawu, back to Castaneda. Castaneda turning on it. Dropped it off to Ortman. He went to Stevens, back to Ortman. And now it's the Mountain. And Jake Van der May. Van der May to Stevens. Stevens to Gerson. Lascano won it from behind, and now Bo Blizzard again. He has been outstanding, Bo Blizzard, today. Just keeps leading out these breaks for his side. Lucas Hill out to deal with this one, but he just keeps getting the ball in his own half, beating a man, then threading the ball through to spring an attack. It's been fantastic from Bo Blizzard. Been one of the best in the league in the midfield this season, and a perfect demonstration of why in the opening 23 minutes of this one. Here's Lucas Hill. Long ball, Mulroney should deal with that one just fine. Braden Mann looks to pick it up. And he swings it looking for Holden. Sliding in was Alex Holmes with a perfectly timed challenge. And back he goes to Van der May. So scrapping away here. Holmes from the ground, whipped it away. Crucier looking for Barnard. Hit his shins. Fell to Castaneda. Now forward they go again, but it's going to be Smith on the ball. To Joel Stone. Turning sharply. Did it well, Joel Stone. Castaneda still lurking about, as is Holmes. But Joel Stone finds a little bit of room. Good recovery, Holmes. Slid in and blocked it. And now transitioning, looking to find the run of Gerson. Away by Mulroney. Crucier just mistiming the header there. Ortman back out to Gordy Gerson. Gerson looks to get the better of Mulroney. It's Gordy Gerson charging towards the byline and crossing back, but Lascano blocks that avenue off. Behind for another corner. 25 minutes into the first half here at Valley Road. A Braden Mann strike separating the teams at the moment as we have a look at this lunging challenge from Alex Holmes. He had to get the timing on that one right, and he did. Great piece of defending from the big cuddler. So Wadzawu, not in any great rush to take this corner. We'll just mosey on across to the ball. It's been the strikers with the chances early. Warriors searching for a way back into it. Holmes the target here. He wins it down and deflected home. It is the scramble at home. Gordy Gerson claiming the final touch. And it's 1-1 at Valley Road. The American scores again. Make that 6 in 5 games for Gordy, the Gecko Gerson. He really is making quite the name for himself down here in Tasmania right now. And he squared it up. It wasn't the prettiest of goals. Alex Holmes really started it with his thumping header. Van der May turned it in. And you've got to feel sorry for Bo Blizzard. It looks like he saved a certain goal on the line, but it bounced up right into the path of the Gecko. And he steers home another one. And we are back on terms here. And a couple of almost moments, the Warriors. That was their first shot on goal for the game, I believe. And they've levelled it up. Good response. And they were always likely to be good for a goal or two in this one, especially with the form Gordy Gerson is in. did come off the back of a pretty good spell from the strikers who really worked their way on top of this one in the last 10 minutes. It opened the scoring. Bidwell came close to making it 2. But the Warriors take their chance and get back in it. Here's Wadawu. Stevens. We see a response from the strikers to relinquishing that lead. Castaneda, surrounded by strikers, does well to win the throw. It's looked very silky today, Eduardo Castaneda, really growing in confidence. Just need to rebuild it a little bit for a whole lot of action over the past couple of seasons. But certainly showing why he was so highly regarded as a youngster. And the opportunity in the Warriors midfield. What about perhaps by an injury to Nick Mearns, the departure of Jack Turner? It's certainly provided the chance for Castaneda to shine, and shine he has. Here's Bo Blizzard. Speaking of shining, he's been fantastic, and he's just hit that one perfectly for Bidwell. Bidwell skips around Jonathan Griffiths. Eddie Bidwell drives, and Lucas Hill again! That's twice Lucas Hill has denied Eddie Bidwell on the line. Jetty Crucian now weaving his way through traffic. He shapes the shoot, got a terrible piece of it, didn't make sweet contact at all, and they hold them out, but the long ball, Pitchford miles off his line, awake to the threat of Gerson. Here's Bidwell, who must be getting frustrated by Lucas Hill. A slice of cheese coming up here for Joel Sammons, which draws a raucous reception really from the Valley Road faithful. A little bit of scrapping going on between those two, but Bidwell twice now must have been just about ready to celebrate before Lucas Hill had the timeliest of interventions. It has been mountainous defending from the big fella at the back. He saved 2 certain goals. Lascano searching for Bo Blizzard. Griffiths just trying to see this one out of play. Didn't have the momentum, so opts to take Blizzard on instead. Poor clearance, those straights to Eddie Bidwell, but unfortunately for the strikers, foul after he got rid of it will be pulled back for. Let's have another look at the slice of cheese going out there, just leaning into him. I think that's probably an accumulation rather than straight up for that foul. Bidwell for Bo Blizzard. Blizzard past Castaneda, couldn't get past Stevens. Braden Mann out to Dom Smith. Dom Smith now on the right. This is how they scored with the cross to Braden Mann, who takes it down, denied by Randall. Oh, acrobatic volley from Crucier. Get the direction on that occasion. It was Joel Stone, in fact, with that remarkable attempt. Couldn't quite make the contacts, but again, the diagonal from Smith, and geez, Pitchford nearly goes full Carius there for a second. Almost cut out, not to be. Here's Bo Blizzard. Punches that one across for Turtle Holden. Leaves it for the Lithuanian. He goes back to Dom Smith, building down the left. He's running at Vandermeer. A few step overs here. And then a ferocious shot, which Randall did really well. Oh, he spilled a little, and the fox in the box was lurking. Randall able to recover it, and that's 2 good stops he's made in 2 minutes there, Darby Randall. Perhaps I feel he might have done better on the opening goal, but redeeming himself with a couple of quality saves. There does Darby Randall. Devonport starting to get back on top. Braden Mann, you can see what they're trying to do. Build down the left-hand side, then quickly flip the diagonal to someone on the right. Led to their goal. It's led to a couple of chances since. Really using the width of the pitch nicely are the Devonport strikers. Vandermeer to Castaneda. Back to Vandermeer. Forward for Wadawu. Wadawu pokes it past to Mulroney. They wanted the foul. Coach says it was too far away from him, or he played for it. Either way, nothing doing for the postman. Stooping ever so low to win the header was Vandermeer. It worked out nicely. Gerson was sliding in, but Lascano smashing that one well clear. We have a look at that lovely scoreboard here at Valley Road. New addition for the 2018 season, reading 1-1 just after the half-hour mark here. One back by Krusha. Krusha again will look to switch it out to Braden Mann, who's going to run at Jonathan Griffiths here. It's Braden Mann driving to the box and across the face. Always looked wide, but just finding room again down this right-hand side. Griffiths, I think, could probably use a little more support from Samet working back. They are creating some serious chances down this right-hand wing at the moment. Now Devonport. Olympia living a little dangerously. So Lucas Hill is going to take over goal kick duties after a couple of wayward efforts from Randall, and he goes long. Picked out Eddie Bidwell. He passed it to Braden Mann, looking to link back up with Bidwell. The business to Holmes, who chips into a pocket of space for Griffiths to try and run into, but Lascano read that nicely, works it in for Joel Stone. Back to Braden Mann. Mann with a long ball looking for Bidwell, marauding him behind again. Alex Holmes across to cover, and he's just going to shield it out, but he didn't have the legs to get out of play, and Holmes forced into a rather average clearance in the end, which he quickly returned to Joel Stone. Fans a little bit swifter returning the ball when it's a striker's throw, as Lascano launches it for Barnard. Randall over the top. Just about dealt with it. Miscontrol there from Dom Smith. Will it let in Warren Wadawu? Warren Wadawu seizes on the ball. Gerson, he'd already gone offside. He wanted the ball played earlier. Just had to hold his run. Wadawu just hesitating on the release there for a moment. There's Pitchford happy to gather it up. And he smashes this one with the drop kick along in the Barnard direction. Well won by Holmes. Ortman can keep it in play. And a throw in for Eddie Bidwell, who has been prominent in this first half here at Darcy Street. As Eddie Bidwell turning and fighting his Joel Stone with Ortman. And in the end, the foul blown against Joel Stone. He's not quite convinced of that decision there, Stoney, but will relieve the pressure that was building. Lascano saying he couldn't see, so the sun in the eyes of the Spaniard a problem there. It is a beautiful day here at Valley Road. Perfect conditions for a football game. And big stakes in this one. Both teams needing a win as Pitchford swings it wide looking for Smith. Smith volleyed it down the line straight to Vandermeer. Now Bo Blizzard. Blizzard to Mulroney. Back to Pitchford. Launches it looking for Holden. Vandermeer over the top of it. It's been a very easy on the eye game so far as Krusha sliding this one forward. Randall can collect before Holden was able to get on the end of it. Long ball from Darby Randall for Gordy Gerson. Brought it down with a wonderful touch. I think Bidwell might have just got his back a little there. How are they doing? Gordy Gerson in disbelief. Not overly pleased there. It was the Gecko. We'll have another look here, and Bidwell has a fairly firm hand in the back there. As soon as he felt it hit the deck, but probably a little bit stiff there, the Gecko. Well, that was this one. Smashed Holmes, wins it away. Samet nodding it forward. And volley away by Mulroney. Here's Bidwell. Bidwell to Joel Stone. Back to Bidwell, let it run between the legs. One of the flashier fullbacks you'll see, Eddie Bidwell. He charges forward here. Dropped it off for Braden Mann. Mann turning onto the right. Ortman did really well just to block him off. Gets himself to a tough situation, Mann, but kept a hold of the ball. Worked it back to Joel Stone. Stone back to Mann. Lovely link-up play here. Joel Stone skips around another. Worked it back to Mann, but Paul Stevens was on spot to smash it away. The defensive unit holding firm. It's a little shaky out wide, but essentially solid. That's surely a foul against Vandermeer. Immediately acknowledges it. Holden is looking over it for a moment, but he'll defer duties to the Lithuanian. He's been pretty good in recent times with his set-piece delivery. Scored his first goal last week against Clarence. Absolute demolition job that was. 5-0. Really could have been double figures. They had 20 shots to 1 for the match. It was an annihilation down there at Wentworth. Tougher opposition today as Krusha blasts this one straight into Warren Wadawu. And now Bo Blizzard will just chip it to the back post. Dangerous looking ball, good header. Offside flag's been raised. As Mulroney was trying to make something happen, but the flag straight up. Just staying down there is Braden Mann. If you might have copped a knock to the back of the head in that aerial duel. On his haunches, the striker skipper. Got to win this header, Braden Mann. Can't see anything in there that would have caused it. Anyway, he's back on his feet now and ready to continue. Perhaps just getting a breather. Darby Randall swings it wide to Salmon. Bo Blizzard. Blizzard for the run of Dom Smith. Got there before Gerson, then played it to Holden. Smith had continued his run down the line. Turtle Holden. Swings it into the box. Only Griffiths there. Lofts it towards Blizzard. Now back to Holden. He'll want to get onto the left foot here, and he drives past a couple. Turtle Holden finds Braden Mann on that post, and the striker started to lead. Braden Mann sneaks in behind. Just seemed like a complete switch off in the back there from the Warriors. Braden Mann pockets again. Attack down the left, score down the right. It's been their MO. And Holden, I thought this was a shot. It turned into a perfect cross. And there was Braden Mann who just snuck in behind of Griffiths. Lost his marker. And you just can't give Braden Mann that much time and space. Twice they've allowed him freedom in the box. Twice Braden Mann has punished them. 2-1 the Devonport Strikers. Braden Mann with a brace. And he's now up to 14 goals for the season. Looking to reclaim the golden boot. He's currently in possession of one Jakob Sklenage, which is a situation Braden Mann probably not accustomed to. Not being the current holder of the Golden Boot Award. He's had a bit of monopoly on it. This one is thrown down to Lascano. Goes back to Pitchford. Pitchford looking for Mann. Griffiths nods it backwards. Holmes passes to Griffiths. Chipped it straight to Bidwell. Now Bo Blizzard wafting it over the top. Fairly aimless ball in the end. Here's the business Altman. Across to Jake Vandermeer. Stevens worked it on nicely. Vandermeer's continued to charge forwards, but a heavy touch allowed him Mulroney. Here's Altman. 4 minutes before half-time. Gordon Gerson hits the deck. And told to get up by Nathan Code, which leaves the American less than impressed. Here's Krusha. Krusha swings it looking for Mann, but this time collected by Darby Randall. Randall goes looking for Joel Salmon, who nods on straight to Lascano. The Spaniard Lofts it. No one going to give chase. It should give Holmes plenty of time at the back. Alex Holmes chipping into the middle. Looking for Wadawu. Got there ahead of Mulroney and then threaded it through for Joel Samet. Lascano has the situation under control. Just leaves it on the corner spot there for Pitchy to go collect. So we're almost at half time now in this one, the first game, round 9 of the NPL Tasmania. 2 more games on later on this evening. 4:30, the ladder leaders at Buckby Land Rover Park, Launceston City hosting Clarence. It certainly means both these teams need 3 points here, because you've got to imagine City red hot chances of getting 3 in that one. And then the first ever night game at the Den as Kingborough Lions take on the form side of the comp, if you will, in South Hobart. Scrap on halfway is going to draw a slice of cheese, I think, here. Nathan Code comes across and he gives Gordon Gerson a yellow card. So the Gecko into the book. 2 minutes before the break. See Brett Johnson on the bench there. The usual #1 keeper for the Warriors. They'd dearly love to have him back. He's not too far away from a return. He's just instrumental in that win over Knights in the Laka Selja Cup. So a long range bomb dropped into the box. Over the head of Mulroney and collected by Darby Randall. Randall for Griffiths, for Salmon. Now Wadawu pulling up on the other flank, and he beats Lascano, all ends up. Crossing support was Bo Blizzard though. He's having another good game in midfield, and Wadawu wants a card on Blizzard here for kicking the ball away. And Nathan Code says, yes, you will have a yellow card for doing just that. So Bo Blizzard, the latest into the book, and a player who plays the role he does, who's got to make so many interceptions, late challenges, shielding the back four. You just can't afford to give away slices of cheese for something as trivial as that. I mean, really, it's a position like that, it's just unnecessary, really, from Bo Blizzard. First real blot on his copybook so far, has been one of the better players in the game. That one nearly cleans up Bluster, our camera woman there. I'm not sure if our producer's more concerned about Bluster or the camera, to be perfectly honest. Definitely behind the camera, I'd have thought, as Griffiths is blocked off by Bidwell. That one deflects into the path of Wadawu. Tries to get around Blizzard. Bidwell now in support. All around Griffiths. Manufactures a cross. It was a poor one though, cut off by Lascano. He goes along for Barnard. High boot shorty against Barnard. Play will be allowed to continue. And Wadawu has flipped flanks for the time being. Stevens down the line for Griffiths. And Bidwell's just going to see this one out of play. And that will take us to the 45th minute. There'll be a couple of minutes of added time, with 3 goals and a few yellow cards in this one. As the boot of Barnard just copying the shoulder of Holmes, and given his stature, I'd have thought that one would have been a high boot. There's Smith. Chips it down the line. Krusha the outlet, but Lucas Hill cuts it off. The Mountain. Good defence, and he swings it in the middle for Stevens, who puts it out in front of Joel Salmon. A late rally perhaps here for Olympia. Was just under hit the return ball. It was a delightful run from Salmon. Wadawu just left it a little short for him. Stevens for Salmon. There's Bo Blizzard walking into him. Lascano. Lascano for Barnard. Barnard for Smith. Gordon Gerson now. Looking to get behind Dom Smith, and he cops a blow to the face there. And that might see a slice of cheese for Dom Smith. And Gordy Gerson drawing the foul. Copping that one in the schnoz, I think, there, Gerson. The flailing arm of Dom Smith, getting him in the face. More careless than intentional, but you've got to watch where the arms are going there. Does Dom Smith, and it gives the Warriors a late chance before the half-time break. The postman standing over the ball, and he delivered them a half-time equaliser. The Strikers want to see this one out. Probably deserve the lead on the balance of play. Dawu stands ready. Some serious tall timber to pick out here with Dawu. Curls it in, looking for Holmes. And it's a push spotted there, which sent Bo Blizzard to the deck. And that might just do us for the first 45 minutes here at Valley Road. The Devonport Strikers reclaiming the lead, 2-1 the score. Great a man with a brace either side of a Gordon Gerson goal. The usual suspects at play in the scoring department. And as we reach half-time, it's the home side who have the advantage. 2-1. It's been an entertaining and pretty open affair. Both teams have really looked to go at each other. But the Strikers having some real success attacking down the right. And on the balance of chances in this one, fully deserve their lead at the half-time interval. This was the opener from Braden Mann. Randall unable to keep it out. A sharp one, that one, but how about the technique on the volley from the competition's leading marksman? But the Warriors, to their credit, responded. They were able to get a set piece. Wadawi swung it in. Alex Holmes rising to win the header, and Van der May redirecting it. And what a brilliant goal-saving challenge that was from Bo Blizzard. Unfortunately, it popped straight up to Gordon Gerson. And the American said, oh, well, you're not going to keep the second one out. And steering the pot with his celebration there, the Gecko. Keeping up his phenomenal form. But they didn't remain level for too much longer. Holden driving into the back post with Braden Mann snuck in behind of Griffiths, and that's twice that Mann was just able to peel off at the back post and profit from it. So that's 2-1 Devonport at half-time here at Valley Road. Playing pretty well, the hosts. The Warriors remain within striking distance, and they've had a few good moments in attack, but the major chances all flowing the way of the Strikers. And that's why they have the ascendancy at the half. I'll be back in around about 10 minutes' time with the second half, but at the moment it's the Strikers 2, the Warriors 1.
For those of you that got a match day program at the beginning of the game, typically signed your match day program. One of them, actually President Morrison, of course, has got a Euro winner sticker. Now, if you've got that program, and it's got that Euro winner sticker on it, come into the bar, walk in, and we'll give you a free wise guys piece of our dinner tonight. You've got that program, so open it up, have a look at President's report. You don't have to read it, but you've got that sticker that says you're a winner. You're going to get a free wise guys piece. And you thank the wise guys for their support and sponsorship.
Able to get there for Turtle Holden. With his left foot, he swings it to the back post. Had Darby Randall just scrambling a tap. Well, it rolls And he uses that to pick out Wadawu. He'll have a run at Dom Smith here. Wadawu and crosses in, and Mulroney heads it behind for a corner. Bidwell making a tremendous run down the right. Instead he goes down the left, and that one is cleared into the man, and behind it rolls. He's just dropped back. The Lithuanian doing it nicely. Michael Holden now out the other way, sliding in with Stevens. And now Samet. I reckon if he goes down, he wins a free kick. Instead, the advantage is paid, and now it will be pulled back. That's good refereeing. There was a blatant push in the back. But swings it in near post. It's deflected. Randall got down and covered the post well. Would have been them. On the right, Smith curls it, looking for Braden Mann. Oh, Braden Mann beats Darby Randall and opens the scoring on 2 minutes. A bit of a soft one, that. Braden Mann left all unmarked, and the technique on the volley outstanding. Randall just cradled it down for Mann. Waits for the support that's going to come from Bidwell. He used it as a decoy and then jigs a hold of the ball nicely. Now chipped in the path of Stone. Joel Stone skipping around a couple. He's got Bidwell bursting down the right here. Eddie Bidwell in space. What's he going to do? He drives it across the face, and Lucas Hill kept it out on the line. Took off down the wing and he beat Vandermeer, and then he looks to beat Lucas Hill as well. He does, and he kills it. Darby Randall did really well to make the save there by the Lithuanian. Jetty Krusha swings it in and headed gold, but over the top from the Fox in the box. He sends the ball in his direction. Joel Samet now crossing dangerously. He had Gerson at the back post, but Kieran Mulroney, Braden Mann looks to pick it up. And he swings it looking for Holden. Sliding in was Alex Holmes with a perfect. Warriors searching from way back into it. Holmes the target here. He wins it down and deflected home. It is the scramble at home. Gordy Gerson claiming the final touch. And it's 1-1 at Valley Road. The American scores again. Make that 6 in 5 games for Gordy, the Gecko Gerson. He really is. Bidwell skips around Jonathan Griffiths. Eddie Bidwell drives, and Lucas Hill again. That's twice Lucas Hill has denied Eddie Bidwell on the threat of Gerson. Here's Bidwell, who must be getting frustrated by Lucas Hill. Dom Smith now on the right. This is how they scored, with the cross to Braden Mann, who takes it down, denied by Randall. Oh, acrobatic volley from Krusha. Get the direction on that occasion to Dom Smith, building down the left. He's running at Vandermeer. A few step overs here, and then a ferocious shot which Randall did really well. Oh, he spilled a little out to Braden Mann, who's going to run at Jonathan Griffiths here. It's Braden Mann driving to the box and across the face. Always looked wide, but just returning the ball when it's a striker's throw. As Lascano launches it for Barnard. Randall over the top. Just about dealt with it. The end of it, long ball from Darby Randall for Gordy Gerson. Brought it down with a wonderful touch. I think Bidwell might have just gotten his back a little there. Worked it back to Joel Stone. Stone back to Mann. Lovely link-up play here. Joel Stone skips around another. Worked it back to Mann, but Paul Stevens was on spot to smash it all. The defensive unit holding firm. It's a little shaky out wide, but essentially solid. That's surely a foul against Vandermeer. Immediately it was Blizzard. Now back to Holden. He'll want to get onto the left foot here, and he drives past a couple. Turtle Holden finds Braden Mann on that post, and the striker's goal. Braden Mann sneaks in behind. Just seemed like a complete switch off in the back there from the Warriors. Braden Mann profits again. Attack down the left, score down the right. It's been their MO. And Holden, I thought this was a shot to turn into a at the den as Kingborough Lions take on the form side of the comp, if you will, in South Hobart. Scrap on halfway, he's going to draw. Gordon Gerson now looking to get behind Dom Smith, and he cops a blow to the face there. And that might see a slice of cheese for Dom.
Sorry? It takes me as much time to find a good photo. I can get two of them, but I think probably worse of all that. If it does actually do it. Yeah. Yeah. Probably just a lack of the northern team, both home sticks and away sticks. But anyway, make do. No. If you still got laryngitis? Sorry? You sure? Oh. Yeah. I could probably knock something up, but I don't think I could right now. So South Hobart will be playing the away strip with, well, that could be anything really. It could be red or it could be black, couldn't it? Wouldn't have been in the summer cup or something like that? Why? A bit closer than I thought, isn't it? It's a bit closer than I thought it would be. Yeah. Oh, I thought Devonport would win, so we smashed it a little bit. It's at number 14, I think they were plugged to get him onto 9. He's just looking at yeah. I think they've identified their man. I'd be surprised if he's back on, but let's see. Yeah. Yeah, but in that situation, I think they want to keep Bill in the middle, you know, where the net is, because of his height, you know?
Welcome back to Valley Road for the second half here between the Devonport Strikers and Olympia Warriors. 2-1 the score. As you can see from the stats there, the Strikers have been very much on top and in the ascendancy throughout this one. Gordy Gerson got them back on terms temporarily, and they've had a couple of moments which I suppose have created openings in the box that haven't quite led to a shot, so perhaps one shot is not quite reflective of the Warriors' first half. They had a few good moments, but certainly Devonport deserved their lead. They've been the better team, and now they need to finish the job. It's Olympia, a team you don't want to leave lying around. They've got goals in there. They will punish you if you don't shut the door, and that's what Devonport learned to... that's what they learned when they went down to Warrior Park earlier in the year. They were firmly in control of that one. They had a 1-0 lead. Couldn't find the second goal to put the game to bed, and the Warriors snuck a draw, and they'd be more than capable of hitting a second in this one, maybe even a third. We have a look at the team lineups coming back out of the half. Can't see any changes from either side, so I think we're as we were. And ready to get back underway in this intriguing round 9 game. The Strikers looking to close the gap to the top. Launceston City looking to make some inroads. But certainly they've got a stiff opposition to do it against. The Warriors not quite out of this one. They want to kill them off, and we're off and running now in the second 45, and Griffiths, who has been a little bit exposed at times in that first 45. You can see what the Strikers were trying to do. They were attacking down the left-hand side and then quickly flicking it across to Braden Mann in a one-on-one, or whoever it was on that wing, and really to tremendous effect they executed that. But it's the Warriors on the attack early through Castaneda. A poor pass cut out by Bidwell. Gerson gets back on it. Gordy Gerson trying to weave his way through a pair of Strikers, but well defended by Bo Blizzard. Had excellent first 45, the midfield general. And talk about putting the moz on a bloke. He just smashes that one straight out of play. It's going to be Joel Samet with the throw in. Stevens. You might see Paul Stevens supporting Griffiths a little more in this half, the defensive midfielder. As Ortman plays it back to Vandermeer. Vandermeer charging forwards here and tried to find Gerson, who hit the back heel. That was blocked off. Long ball will take some chasing. The Cutler leading Barnard back to the ball, and now Darby Randall just chipping this one in the Griffiths direction. Krusha got the head to it. So big Holmesy gives it a roost down the line again. Bidwell gets up to it. Blizzard came in, made Samet earn the second one. Here's Braden Mann. Left it back for Krusha. Stone. Well, that was an intentional pass. It worked all right though. And now Eddie Bidwell's got some room down the right, and he swings it in looking for Barnard. Picked out by Randall. And a quick release to Adalu, attacking that well-read Dom Smith. Read it beautifully like a book, and now he charges in towards the box. Lucas Hill steers the header away though. He has been an absolute mountain at the back, living up to his nickname today, Big Lucas. Twice denied Eddie Bidwell in the first 45 with goal-saving blocks. And the competition's premier centre-back really stamping himself on this contest today. Here's Pitchford. Gone onto the left and steers this one back around expertly. Done by Holden, only as far as Vandermeer backing. Not the right option there. And now Turtle Holden tearing off towards goal. Showed too much of it to Holmes though. And Gordy Gerson is retreating from an offside position. Pitchford up to Kieran Mulroney. Now Dom Smith enjoying his game so far. In good vein of form is Dom Smith. Griffith's clearance was unconvincing. Now Braden Mann. Turning inside, Stevens steps across to deal with him. Braden Mann driving towards the byline. Manufactures across, Holmes away. Griffiths took front position against Bidwell, who just clambered into the back of him. And that'll be a free kick. Well done there. Just took the position, knew the contact was coming, and he was always going to get the free kick. And Darby Randall. And a couple of good stops in that first half. Swings it back down the line to Bidwell. Samet tried to keep it in, picked out Lascano though, and now a foul on Krusha against Stevens, and that might see a slice of cheddar for Paul Stevens. Not at the moment, but he's got the yellow ticket in his hand, so I imagine it's forthcoming. And there it is, dished out to Paul Stevens now. right on halfway. Just a few of these fouls, and Smith-Weiss just taking the tempo out of the early going in the first 5 minutes of this second 45. So pretty furious tempo to the first half. Real hammer and tong stuff. Flowed from end to end, but not quite seen that just yet in the second stanza. As Nazcano stands over the dead ball on halfway. Barnard holding a man in the box. Instead he chips it down the line looking for a run from Bidwell. Falls for Joel Stone, who just skips around Joel Samet, then lost his footing a little and allowed Samet back in. He smashes that one away. Throw in from Bidwell. Holmes imperious but didn't deal with it. Falls for man and then back, and it's driven over the top there. Not too far away from Barnard. Thumped that one. A long throw. Holmes got under it in the end there. Man linking up well with the Fox in the box, who just smashes this one over the crossbar. So the first good opening there for the Strikers in the second half. And weren't too far away. Darby Randall gets us restarted. There's only Strikers there though, so much so that Krusher can just chest it down for Joel Stone. Warriors collapsing back here. Smith punches it over the top looking for the run of Holden. Randall should get there first. Didn't sit inside the box for him, so Ops just kick it away. Krusher crossing Lucas Hill with a towering header away. Wadawu. He was looking for Gerson. Lascano did nicely. Now Bo Blizzard. Dom Smith to Holden. Holden down the line for Krusher. Lithuanian pushing on a bit in this second half. And he rolls it through for Dom Smith. Dom Smith outside of the boot. Couldn't find Barnard. Not far away again. Lovely stuff from Dom Smith. The danger yet to pass. The cross will be played into the box. Couldn't find Joel Stone. It was steered away by Altman. But it is the Strikers turning the screws out of the half-time sheds here. Knocking on the door for a third. Probably the right option to play the pass there from Dom Smith. Didn't really have much to work with in terms of manufacturing a shot on the non-preferred. So, good option. Barnard unable to collect. Krusher now from range. Finds the side netting only. Letting fly from distance. And you just get the sense the Strikers are looking to take this game by the scruff of the neck now. They've come out of the half and firmly in control of things. And can they get that goal that eluded them in the matchup at Warrior Park back in round 2? They couldn't put away their chances that day, and it came back to haunt them. Randall out ahead of Man, sweeping up the area. Only cleared as far as Stone, who tries the spectacular chip. It was well off target though. But that's the type of innovation you get from Joel Stone. He'll always try the spectacular, and Randall well off his line here. Lucas Hill was back on the line, ready to make his third goal-saving block of the day. Had it got over the top as Braden Mann might catch out Lucas Hill here as he smashed it wide of the mark. And that's the problem with Lucas Hill taking goal kicks, is Braden Mann could just slide on in behind there with plenty of space as Hill was stepping back up. And his volley just wide of the post. It's a real shooting gallery at the moment. Mulroney to Krusher, back to Smith. Pressured by Wadawu. Smith switched the play to nobody. Joel Stone wasn't making that run. Griffiths down the line. Bidwell reading the intent, got in ahead of Samet. It's Eddie Bidwell. Back to Joel Stone. Turning on it and then lofting it into the path of Bidwell. Charged down by Holmes. Samet will want this one to roll out of play, and that it does. Flicked on by Stone. The Warriors being hemmed back in their own half here at the moment. Just unable to find a way out. They'll loft this one along looking for Gerson, away by Lascano. Castaneda. He and Altman need to get back on the ball here for the Warriors. They're being smashed in midfield at present. Now they've drawn a free kick here against the Spaniard. Woody Gerson, I think, the one infringed. They're going to take their time here, the Warriors, and try and manufacture something. They've barely been able to get their foot on the ball in the first 10 minutes of the second half. So Peace gives them the chance, perhaps, just to settle things down a little. Castaneda chips it. It's poor delivery straight to Turtle Holden at the top of the box, and now he and Joel Stone look off to the races. Holden's powering on down the left here. Wadawu tracking back well, but Holden gets there first and then gets cleaned up by Wadawu. Oh, a slice of cherries. And sloppy stuff there from the postman. There's Nathan Coe. Issues him a yellow ticket. I think Wadawu knew exactly what he was doing here. He wanted to bring that run to a halt today. He did have a bit of support inside there in Griffiths and Salmon. Might have been better off letting Holden turn onto the right. Always a dangerous man around the area, and just a little bit of panic there, I think, from the Warriors. And it's presented this set-piece opportunity for a man very proficient over the dead ball in Braden Mann. Laying off a hat-trick. A few targets to cross to if he likes, but on a hat-trick, and the way he's been hitting them today, wouldn't surprise me if the captain tries to kill this one home. He shoots right in the head of Ortman. Good positioning for the ball. Sliding challenge, excellent from Stevens. But good block, good use of the head from the business Ortman in the end. A bit more elevation. That was pinging into the top corner of the net. It wasn't far away from Mann. It's Pitchford. Picks this one up, and he's going to launch it in the Braden Mann direction. But not quite the direction on this occasion. Vandermeer. Cross to the mountain. Hill switches it up and goes to Griffiths. Castaneda. Mark Ortman. Now to Warren Wadawu. The postman will have a run at Dom Smith. Weaving one way, then the other, then plays into Gordon Gerson! And Gordon Gerson's been called for a handball. He can't believe it. Jeez, that finish is outstanding. Let's have a look at it. He definitely extended the arm to bring it down. And part of his body did the Gecko use. Oh, I reckon he's a little stiff there, Gordy Gerson. I reckon that's got him right here in the chest. And unfortunately, the outstretched arm has got him into trouble, but that should be 2-all. Gordy Gerson. Unfortunate. Tough call in live play, but I don't think he did use the arm there. Long ball over the top now. Eddie Bidwell. Joel Salmon. Scrapping away. Well, there's your point of contention. I must say, I thought in live play probably did look a little sus, but slowed down to the frame by frame that obviously the referee doesn't have. Does appear a tough goal. Here's Holmes. Risks that one away. Joel Stone away for Michael Holden. Works it down the line there. Barnard against Lucas Hill, the mountain. Incomplete command at the back. Blizzard. Now the business Ortman. No moment Gerson there. A real warning shot to the strikers for as in control as they have been of this contest. Again, it would have been an equaliser. And Gerson looking very lively every time he does get some service. Just making things happen as Braden Mann hauls down big Alex Holmes there. Pretty regulation decision there for the referee to make. Alex Holmes chips it in the middle. Joel Stone was there. Shows an awful lot of it. Went back and recovered it. Pitchford, pressured by the Gecko. Chips it long. Chested down by Castaneda to Ortman. And Ortman spreads it across to Warren Wadawu. Warriors starting have a good little spell here. Well, that's a poor pass from Waddell, who might leave them exposed the other way. Joel Stone weaving through the middle, and the left is the right option. Lucas Hill got back and lacked the direction, but in the end Randall able to collect, but had two men bursting down the left and only one defender to deal with them. So that ball needed to go to. Ortman does nicely, and it'll be broken up well by Dom Smith and spills on through to Blizzard, who dished it off to Lascano. The Spaniard went looking for Braden Mann. It might fall for Barnard. Couldn't bring it under his spell. And Randall lofts this one long. Bidwell wins the header. Down by Stevens. Charging through Bo Blizzard again. He's crash and bash style. Krusha. Mann. Back to Krusha. Back to Mann. Braden Mann is hauled down there by John O. Griffiths. And it'll be a free kick in a promising position. So Braden Mann. Think about the shot here, of course. Backup keeper in goals for Olympia. They might be tempted to test him. It is a long way out. You've got Turtle Holden and Braden Mann are both capable from a long ways out though, if they fancy it. It's going to be Holden who drives it low. It was comfortable for Darby Randall. Going to take a lot better than that to beat him as the youngster smashes this one in the Gerson direction. Bidwell knocks it away from him. Your talking point from the game could well be a Gerson non-goal. Could be 2-2 at this stage. And now Stevens, Gerson making a run for him. Instead he goes to the opposite side and looks for Joel Samet. Samet will just try and win the throw-in off of Dom Smith. And corner, and yeah, I thought that was the case. It was an odd decision from Smith to try and protect it. It looked like Samet had rolled it off him. Smith then shielding out of play, so he must have seen something different from his angle. Either way, it's the Warriors with a corner ball in the 62nd minute. They've absorbed a lot of early pressure and they're starting to get a foothold again. Lucas Hill preparing to make a run from the top of the box, as is Vandermeer Holmes. The cavalry arrives. This one's swung in, but it's far too close to Pitchford. He shows a safe pair of hands. And then flings that one in the Joel Stone direction. Mark Orton handling it well. Defended the situation nicely. Oh, that's a dicey pass from Holden to Blizzard. Gordon Gerson looking throwing himself about here, the American. He is making him sweat on it here. Chasing down everything. Terrific attitude from the American frontman, just getting on with it after being denied. He's doubling down, trying to find another avenue to go. His side's best player again today. Here's Turtle Holden. Holden playing it through, repelled by Griffiths. Ortman starting to come into the game a little the business. Here's Castaneda. Just in the early going, but just dropped off a little since. He's turned it over to Braden Mann here. Back to Krusha. Now Joel Stone with some space to work in. It's Joel Stone trying to get around Lucas Hill. Stood up by the mountain. Did it well, but they keep a hold of possession. And now Mann chips in looking for Barnard. Well done, Alex Holmes. And he copped a whack from the Fox in the box for his troubles. Have a look at Mann just chipping this one in. Just tunnelled a little bit there. Well, it was big Holmesy. He's remained on the deck. So Randall launching it long. Gerson won't be able to get near that. He's already battling it with the height factor. He's not a natural target man they've been knocking these long balls to, but you've got to at least give him a chance, because give him half a chance and he's won it today. Castaneda with some slick work there, and he feeds in Warren Wadawu down the right. Wadawu looking to get in behind of Smith. And Smith handled him really well there. Just took him to the byline, didn't give him an inch. And Wadawu unable to come up with anything dangerous the other way. Now Dom Smith gets a little bit of room to attack and tried to tee up Holden. Ortman knocked it into space for Wadawu, tried the back heel. And defended. And it looks like some action on the substitutes bench here. All the Devonport strikers. Looks like Geneminis Crusher's day is about to end. Henry Andrews going to come on here, I think. Looks like the rangy figure. So central midfielder on to replace Jetty Crusher. See what he can do. 25 minutes to play here. Vandermeer takes the throw to Castaneda. Shot down by Bo Blizzard. Castaneda again. Blizzard. Oh, won it back tenaciously there, did Blizzard, and he's trying to spring Braden Man in behind, but Griffiths winning that one away. Randall. Bidwell did well to keep it in. Got it to Joel Stone. Bidwell continues his run. Warriors swarming around. Substitute Andrews. Rangy figure. Stevens forward. Bidwell's throw did Braden Man no favours. Did that back pass to Darby Randall. They'll work their way through it all right though. Holmes, dexterous from the big fella there. Well, now they've got themselves into trouble. And just managed to hold on to the ball. It wasn't overly convincing. Joffrey and Koso come on here, the Warriors. Looks like Samet looks it back. There's Griffith scrapping away there. Coming in was Stone, looking to body up. This is all very scrappy just at the minute here at Valley Road. 2-1 the score in favour of the Strikers. The game within their keeping, but we've seen the danger the Warriors have back the other way. They want to kill the contest off. They try to do so now through Joel Stone, who finds Michael Holden in some space. Michael Holden couldn't get round Vandermeer. Held his ground well, the big centre half, and deployed it right back again today. Blizzard for Smith. Took it inside and Koso, who surely fouled Smith in the follow-up. Swung to the top of the box where Miles Barnard was looking. He goes across to Braden Man. Looked to drive inside of Griffiths, who won that duel very nicely, but support comes from Henry Andrews. And he chips it back in, looking for Joel Stone. Wide of the post. Just couldn't quite get the direction on that occasion. Teed up for himself nicely. Holmes was just sitting off and closed it down. Nains 2-1. He's got anything left in the tank here. Now the fight back. Castaneda. Paul. Cut out. Blizzard. Was poor too. Went to Vandermeer. Now Warren Wadawu. Enjoyed his battle with Dom Smith today. Here's the business Ortman. Passed it straight to Andrews. Doesn't have a lot of options, so just tried to chip it forward for Barnard, but last 5 minutes or so, been quite scrappy here at Valley Road. Tired bodies out there after the first half that had a terrific tempo to it, and I think a few players maybe just paying the price for that a little later in the game. Here's Joel Stone. Back for Blizzard. Lucas Hill cuts that out and dealt with Holden. Castaneda. Stevens. Warriors building. They want to get this man involved at some point. It's Gordon Gerson to Castaneda. Braden Mann working back tirelessly. They force them all the way back to Lucas Hill. Gives it to Ortman. And then just barged off the ball by Joel Stone. He thought it was shoulder to shoulder. The referee disagrees. And a free kick going the Warriors' way, just as Devonport looked like they were about to pounce. Griffiths down the line, and Koso sliding was Lascano to see it away from him, and then Bidwell hoofs it. Where Alex Holmes will lead Barnard back in the race. And slide it across Darby Randall. Castaneda's got some room in midfield, well picked out by Randall. That's a lovely through ball for Joffrey and Koso. He's got Gerson in the middle if he can find him. Joffrey and Koso. Instead, tries to find Wadawu, makes him work back to it. Wadawu can't get in behind Smith. It's great defence from Dom Smith. Held his ground well and won that battle. Crucial stuff. The Strikers have a man down at the moment, although he's getting back to his feet. Stone. Andrews. Shipped it way out ahead of Holden, but Randall across to cover. Tom Smith over the top of Wadawu. And Andrews down to Bo Blizzard. Blizzard to Mann. Stevens comes across and that will deflect for Mann. Throw in will go. Where the Strikers are. Half time in the Women's Super League, 0-0 between Launceston City and Clarence. A little bit of a surprise there. I'm sure a few around these parts following the Elveston team will enjoy that result if it holds. As Joel Stone trying to get him behind, but gives up the foul on Griffiths, who's had a better second half. For a tough first 45, Griffiths. Here's Nkoso. Looking to make something happen, the king of the Andals. But he's fighting a war against all the houses of Westeros there. Didn't have enough support. So 20 minutes left here for the Warriors to try and find a leveller. Or will it be the hosts who close the gap to City? Long ball for Wadawu. Just kicked on ahead of him. Picked up some speed on the bounce. Able to track it down. Pitchford punches it long. They've left the door ajar here, Devonport. They've not taken their chances today. They need the third to kill the contest. Michael Holden looks to provide it. He's in a battle here with Lucas Hill, who defended it superbly. Lucas Hill, he has been outstanding today, and he might have sprung Gordon Gerson, but Kieran Mulroney across to deal with it. Over the head of Holden. He'll turn and run at Hill again, perhaps. Tried the little nutmeg, but Hill has been imperious today. Hey, man. It's been fantastic by Blizzard. Eddie Bidwell. And Joel Stone takes a little tumble and he's absolutely fuming that he gets nothing from the referee. Hill goes back to Randall. Andrews chesting down and it's out of play. Blizzard again puts it into touch. Stevens back to Castaneda. Back to Stevens. Griffiths to Wadawu. Well away by Lascano. Fell to Stevens, who went back to Griffiths. Strikers defending far up the pitch and doing it well. Here's Wadawu. Gordon Gerson wants it. Won't get it to him, and Kosa up against the impressive Eddie Bidwell. Someone out of play, but another fantastic display from Eddie Bidwell today. He's so good at clearing space down that right-hand side for him. He was playing on the right, just tucking in a little and giving him the room to make those overlapping runs. Really the more adventurous of the two Devonport fullbacks. Smith capable of going forwards, but Bidwell very much an offensive defenseman, as this one is stretched at by Smith and got a crucial touch in it before Gerson could pounce. Here's Dom Smith again with that diagonal, looking for the run of Joel Snow. It's Braden Mann. That's a perfect ball. Can Braden Mann kill them off here? Oh, yes, he can. Braden Mann with a hat-trick. Make that 3 more for the Strikers captain. 15 for the season. And his third will surely give him 3 points. Just misjudged by Griffiths. And at that point, it's just about game over when Braden Mann's in on goal. He still had plenty of work to do, but he smashes it past Randall. And he's done it again. Braden Mann makes it 3-1 for the Devonport Strikers, and quite possibly has secured the victory for them again today. Consecutive hat-tricks for the Strikers captain. He scored the first 3 of the game last week. He scored 3 again here today. What a season he is having. And he's got a pretty good track record with his displays down the years, Braden Mann, but this could even be his best season yet. He is torching every defence he comes up against. Another 3 for him today. He's just utterly clinical. And Devonport look like they will be closing that gap to Lonnie City at the top of the table as Andrews comes flying over the top of Wadzawu. Here's Griffiths and Koso. Stevens back to Griffiths. Away by Mulroney. So they can close the gap to 1 point. Now half an hour after this one ends, Launceston City in action against Clarence. You have to say it would be a shock if that was anything other than a Launceston City win though. So they're probably not going to make any inroads today, Devonport, but this is always going to be a tough test against a Warriors side who have tested the top few teams, but they've just not been able to get over the hump. And it looks like that's going to be the case again today. They've been a little bit unlucky at times, not converting chances, and today Gerson having that one disallowed, but the balance of play, Devonport have been the better side today. And Braden Mann has been absolutely spectacular once again. Here's Eddie Bidwell, who's also been absolutely dynamic down this right wing. And Koso does the defensive work on this occasion though. It's a result that will keep the Strikers in the thick of the title race for the Warriors. Well, they're potentially going to be 10 points behind, which is going to be a pretty tough deficit to haul in as the season progresses. Really no margin for error after dropping these points today, and just not quite been able to knock off one of the biggest sides this year. And probably going to leave their run a little too late. It'll be a side that will be a big obstacle in terms of competing for the title, but I think after this result it's going to be very, very hard for Olympia now. As Turtle Holden picks it up. There's some open field ahead of me. He runs at Van der May and drives it across the face of goal. Just wide of the mark from Turtle Holden. Picking up and running at Van der May, who did not want to dive in here. In the end, left him probably too much space. Didn't quite make the contact he was after there, Turtle Holden. So Randall looking for Holmes. Blizzard did well. Stevens. Madalu not going to have the legs to chase that one down at this point. A job well done for the Strikers, who, of course, have got a bigger fish to fry in the respect that next week is the Lacquer Subject Cup final. So they'll be taking part in, and they're going to enter that off the back of some pretty good form. They'll be heading in think just the one loss from the last 6 or 7 weeks, which was Salami City, but probably going to have the 2 form sides outside of Launceston City competing in that one. City, of course, beaten by South Hobart in their semi-final. It will be who the Strikers face in a rematch of 2016. And that's a year that evokes some pretty good memories around these parts. The Devonport Strikers faithful, those 2 incredible nights here in the FFA Cup. There's no doubt they'll be hungry to get back there as this one swung in too far advanced for Gerson. But they've had a taste and they're going to want to be back there. And really, the way they and South Hobart are playing, there's not too much between them right now. It could be a real classic of a final. Braden Mann works it to Bidwell. Bidwell for Barnard, holds it up and waits for support. It comes in the form of Braden Mann, just let it get away from him. And the numbers will win out eventually for the Warriors. It wasn't overly convincing. Lucas Hill now want to defend Joel Stone. And Rangy Andrews to Bidwell. And Lucas Hill puts it out of play and will scramble back into position now. Allowing Mark Ortman to step back out, having temporarily moved into the heart of the defence. Here's Joel Stone. Just shielding the ball from Ortman here, scrapping away here is the business. And it'll be a throw in, which is the exact result that Stone desired. The Strikers quite content to kill this one off now. They've got the 2-goal buffer. They'll just eat up the minutes wherever they can. Joel Stone with a quick feet, worked it to Bidwell. And they're just happy for this game to take place in the far corner. And as long as possible now. And they do pull the trigger. They've got Barnard lurking in the box. So they eventually decide to head. Stays in play. Andrews knocked it down, cut out by Ortman. Braden Mann. Blizzard sliding in. It was Holmes. Defended it from the deck pretty well in the end. That's lovely work though. Gets it to Braden Mann. Buys some space and blazes over the top. Took a deflection. It'll be a corner. His ability to just shift the ball onto his right foot. Such speed. It's such a nightmare to deal with. Well done, Paul Stevens, on this occasion. Slid in. Made the telling block. And as the Valley Road faithfuls always go to the match programs with the allure of a free pizza, causing a few to just check the programs and see if they got themselves a lucky sticker. Which Rocket Andrews assures us has not gone off yet, so someone's got a free pizza somewhere in this ground, people. As Holden swings this one in, it's a teasing ball on the line and eventually whacked clear. Randall seemed at sea. They survived though. And right on the last line of defence was this. Holden's in swinging corner into just a massive humanity there, crashing into Darby Randall, who does pretty well to keep it out at the end of the day. That's the keeper. There's some argument over whose throw-in it is. I suspect Joel Stone is completely aware it's their throw-in and is just all too happy to wait up the seconds. And they'll eat up a few more by dropping it there. For Holden. Barnard flicked on. Ortman volleys away. Now Wadi Castaneda to Joffrey Nkoso. He swings it long, looking to spring the gecko. Gordon Gerson one-on-one with Eddie Bidwell here. And Bidwell was up to the task. And he has been outstanding today, the young fullback. Defended his flank well and has got forward frequently. Holmes now playing as an auxiliary striker. Oh, a Falcon on Wadawari springs goalward. And the quick release from Pitchford plays in Holden. Holden who looks to drive past Castaneda. With Tassie's bright young prospects there. Sliding in was Van der May. And Holden almost forgot the situation of the game and took a quick throw in. or thinking better of it. Joel Stone in the corner, perhaps the target. Instead goes further afield to Barnard. It's out of there, but it's at the wrong end of the pitch as far as the Warriors are concerned. They need 2 more, and they've not got long to do it. Holden. Now Blizzard. Braden Mann wants it. He goes in that direction. It's Braden Mann. Well done by Randall. And looking for his 4th. And Griffiths carries out of defence. He swings it towards Holmes, playing as that target man now. Legends just trying for something a little different. They've certainly given more of an aerial presence than Gordy Gerson. But they need to hit his head. Instead, that one onto the head of Mulroney, who steers it away. Here's Wadawu. Stone beating Castaneda to it and then taking off and sliding it through for an unsuspecting Barnard. I was not expecting the pass to come there. Smith to Andrews. Here's Bo Blizzard. Bo Blizzard sliding in with Holmes, trying to halt his progress. Now Stone has had a good game, linking up with Holden and Joel Stone. It's to the box. He puts the cross in, it might fall for Bo Blizzard. Smashes it just past the post. We've seen him from a similar position this year, scoring on a couple of occasions. Bo Blizzard. Too far away, trying to thread the eye on the needle there. And a very good game from him as he plays it through for Joel Stone. He might want the highlight reel goal here. Joel Stone denied by Randall. And Stevens beats Barnard to the bounce of the ball. Bidwell. Stone. Flicks it through. They want to continue the run. And another look at this Joel Stone attempt. Straight at Darby Randall, who deals with it comfortably. So the Mountain. Time becoming the enemy now for Olympia. They've not got enough time left here, surely. Although, we saw in their game against South Hobart earlier this year. Late goals always a possibility. Unfortunately, they were conceding him that day. As Wadawu looks to get in behind a Dom Smith, and he's done so here. It's Warren Wadawu. He's got a couple to pick out. Holmes the target. Good diving header from Mulroney. And Holden can't keep that one inside the field of play. Don't mind this move of the big cover up top. Just got a bit of a focal point up there, just a different look. Throw something a little different at the opposition. Might be a little bit too late at this stage though, as Holden combines with Barnard. And then switches it up for the ever-willing runner that is Eddie Bidwell, still charging forwards at this late stage of the game. There might be some room in behind for Gerson to work into, and Lascano has pulled up very proppy, has hit the deck. And for a man who's had some hamstring troubles, I believe, that does not look good, although maybe just cramp. I don't think he'd be doing that if it was a serious injury. But it didn't look good initially, his reaction, when a player starts smashing the ground like that. It looked like a man who knew that he'd injured himself. But maybe just a man who really doesn't like cramps. I'm not sure. Mulroney stretching him out here. Nathan Coe tells him to get on with it, and seems to be all right getting back to his feet, the big Spaniard, but he is clutching at that hamstring, which would be a concern, I'm sure, for Chris Gallo a week out from a cup final. And some action on the bench. I suspect he might get pulled straight away. You don't take any chances leading 3-1, and look at that. You've got to get him off, don't you? Well, there's always a race against time for every cup final in terms of a player's fitness. Could Guillermo Lascano be the one? He's going to continue on. So maybe it is just cramp. And he's looking urgently at the bench and back in position for now. But he's going to get replaced the next time the ball goes out. Blizzard sends it wide, looking for Braden Mann. Braden Mann was offside. He thought about the shot. He just lets him know exactly how many he scored today there, Braden. Just in case anyone had forgotten. But, the sting out of this one, and substitution now being made. That will be Lascano off, so it's going to be a very interesting 9 days ahead of us with the Spaniard Lascano. It'll be the most talked about hamstring on the coast. I'll give you the tip. And he is subbed off here for the final minute of the game. So play resumes. Just stoppage time to come now. That one's going to elude Castaneda. Just tracked it down. And charging in is Joffrey Nkoso. Good work here from Nkoso, but Mulroney calm, composed, and dealt with it. Castaneda back. It was Wadawu, and then just smashed on out of there. Confirmation of Liam Knott replacing Guillermo Lascano. And Lascano's gone straight to the massage table there, and another substitution in the offing. So dance has been introduced here. We're taking a minute here at the end, replacing Miles Barnard. And Lucas Hill lofts it towards his usual defensive partner, Alex Holmes. Dance couldn't control it. Stevens with the diagonal looking to spring Gordy Gerson. He'll track this one down. Now can he get around Smith? That's a dangerous looking cross. No one was in the 6-yard box though. Put it back to a dangerous area, and then a scrap results in, I think, a free kick going the way of the Warriors here. So Warren Wadawu to take. Turtle Alden standing rather close till he's told to go back, which is always going to be the case. So the postman, who scored from a ludicrous angle like this a couple of weeks ago, can conjure up here. Last minute of the game, Pitchford across, clawed it away. Stone was in there, and Pitchford recollects there. And rolls it out in front of Holden. Wadawu is still working hard here. Such a hard worker for his side, and he chips it towards Holmes. It takes an almighty tumble. There's a big frame to come crashing down. Timber, very much the call. And Stone, just buffets off Griffiths, used his strength and then took off towards the box. He's thinking about the PlayStation here as he goes, Stone. Trying to get a goal of the year. But opted the back heel for Holden instead. And Stone back to dance. They've been very professional the way they've killed this one off today, Devonport. And in complete control for much of the half. There was a moment where the Warriors thought they were back on terms through Gerson. Really, outside of that, it has been all one-way traffic, and a shot from range comes in for a man, but comfortably collected. Darby Randall. And Koso ran straight into a pair of strikers, and Blizzard swung it back in. Lucas Hill extends the foot. Stevens and Andrews both hit the deck, and in the end, play continues, and it falls for Joel Stone. Tried the nutmeg on Jake Vandermeer, who wasn't having a bar of that one. And Stevens across. The Warriors players, I sense, know this one well and truly done. A lot of run from the back, but Gerson is still working hard. Bidwell blocked that one off. Joffrey Nkoso the king of the Andals. Works it back to Castaneda. Whistle surely imminent now. And Koso. Back for the business Altman. Chips it for Holmes. The big target man down towards Gerson. Tried the spectacular. And in the end got more of the man than the ball with his bicycle. Alex Holmes showing he's got some uses in that auxiliary role, and yeah, just getting a fair chunk of the defender on that occasion. Welcome to the NPL there for young Knott. He's an audacious type, Gordon Gerson, always trying the spectacular, and he's pulled it off a few times this year. Scored a lovely acrobatic volley against South Hobart. But just like it was on that day at Darcy Street for the Warriors, it's disappointment because the Devonport Strikers have secured a massive 3 points here today at Valley Road, a 3-1 victory. They were fantastic, and it was Braden Mann once again who is having himself some sort of season. He scored his second hat-trick in as many weeks. The Strikers win 3-1. He takes his tally to 15, and they move within a point of Launceston City at the Summit. We will take on Clarence in around about 30 minutes' time. Let's have a look at the goals, the story of the day. Braden Mann, well, both goals in the first half came through a similar routine. Build down the left and then swing it across to the right, where Braden Mann is just going to sneak in behind of Griffiths. He did it twice. It was the Warriors who did respond. They got it back on terms at 1-1 through this corner. Gordon Gerson reacting quickly and prodding it home. Vandermeer had been denied on the line by a very, very unfortunate Bo Blizzard, who had a fantastic game in the middle of the park today. So that was 1-1, and the Warriors full of hope at that point. They responded well, but Devonport would respond themselves. Michael Holden just waltzes between two, smashes this to the back post. I thought it was a shot. It turned out to be a perfect cross. Not sure if it was the intent or not. Either way, Braden Mann depositing that one into the back of the old onion bag. That was 2-1. There was a moment where Gordon Gerson thought he scored in the second half to make it 2-2. Volleyed home a spectacular effort, only to be ruled out for a use of the hand. And then the killer blow landed by Braden Mann just before full time. And that is how it ends. The Devonport Strikers 3-1. They'll head into next week's Laka Seljuk Cup final filled with confidence. That'll be the next time we see them to join us for the big cup final day. But before then, tomorrow we've got Northern Rangers travelling down to take on Hobart Zebras. We'll have the live stream of that one, so do tune in for that one. If it's anything like the last meeting between the two, expect fireworks. But today at Valley Road, it's another successful day for the Devonport Strikers, and move back within a point of top spot with a 3-1 win over the Olympia Warriors.